when we do the same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower.
Today, I want to talk about how plus-size people are harassed while average-size people are praised.
I don't give a Fat acceptance, one of the many movements that in recent times has gained popularity, all thanks to TikTok's rising popularity from 2020 to 2023. No matter how many times this topic has been talked about on the internet, this topic is still relevant because it involves health. From fat influencers complaining about how they can't fit in their jeans, fat activists calling you fat phobic because you want to be healthy and not fat, to a petition pressuring airlines to accommodate fat people by giving them an extra free seat during flights. So yeah, I'm here to add on to the pile of videos that talk about how delusional this movement is. With that being said, let's begin. I'm gonna go on the assumption that most of you know exactly what the fat acceptance is, so instead I'll just dumb it down for you. Fat acceptance is a social movement that aims to destroy the negative perception and discrimination against fat people. Movements like these are nothing new. You got the civil rights movement of 1965 in the United States, the anti-apartheid movement of 1960 to 1994 in South Africa. You also have the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020 after George Floyd's passing, and as well as the Me Too movement of 2006, realizing that some of you guys probably don't even give a toss about history. Like many other social movements, fat acceptance aims to change society's minds by glorifying obesity.
If promoting obesity is what it takes to make other fat people feel hot, obviously I'm gonna do that. So yes, I am promoting obesity. Stay mad. Thank you so much.
Brother,
Did I forget to mention that some movements are pointless as I don't think it takes Albert Einstein levels of IQ to think that a movement like this is never gonna work. Now look, there's nothing wrong with being a little chubby, it's completely fine. It's also completely fine to be a little bit fat, like not me or anybody else is going to care. And being fat is of course bad, but being morbidly obese is stretching it a little too far. And trying to glorify being obese is grounds for you needing a psychiatric evaluation, just to make sure all that salt and sugar is not affecting you mentally, okay? Even though it's Men's Mental Health Month, we all need to take care of ourselves mentally, all guys and gals. But these fat activists don't want to admit that. Instead, they will make up any excuse as to why weight loss will not work for them.
No offense, but what in tarnation are you talking about? I mean, first of all, you said you're personal friends with science. You know science. And then you listed some reasons why someone would look fat. And it had nothing to do with anything they did. They're just fat naturally. And then you want to say that's not an excuse to be fat. Well, honey, what would you have me do? I'm not making excuses. I eat my vegetables. I go to the gym. I am just naturally fat. It is genetics.
Just genetics, huh? You just made an excuse. Also, if someone who is fat saying that they're going to the gym and eating vegetables, yeah, chances are that that is not the case. I mean, if you're going to the gym, you should be able to lose weight. And every time you would hear these fat influencers saying that they're eating healthy and actually going to the gym, you'd think that they would look a whole lot slimmer than they actually did before, right? Now, I know everybody's bodies work completely differently, but when it comes to natural biology, everyone should theoretically be able to lose weight. I mean, it's common sense. No one is inherently born fat. Now, of course, I know that there are conditions that cause overeating or excessive hunger, but 99% of the time, that is not even the case when it comes to these fat activists. The only reason why people think that they're naturally fat is most likely because they had terrible parents that never really cared about what they were eating when they were young. They will feed them junk food if it means that they can shut up whenever they're going grocery shopping. And the second reason is that you know that you ate yourself to being fat, but you're lying just to save face. And if that's the case, I think it might be time that you drop the Krispy Kremes and get a gym membership at Planet Fitness. They're still offering it to everyone. Another excuse that you may have most likely heard from these fat activists, and is also most likely the reason why so many people don't want to support fat activism in the first place, is that anyone who chooses to work out so that they can become healthy and don't want to look fat are considered fat phobic. I'm not even kidding.
If your advice to a fat person on the internet is to eat less when they are not having a problem with overeating, you don't care about their health. You just are fat phobic.
Also, when did they ask for your help? Did they? Maybe your advice is unwarranted, and maybe unwanted, and maybe not helpful, and maybe just hateful.
Or maybe it's because nobody asked for them to complain about them being fat. If you post on the internet, you're allowing over 5 billion people to, number 1, make fun of you, 2, criticize you, and 3, leave hate comments under your video. That's the internet. You're allowing people to interact with your video however they choose to do so. And you're also allowing people to send hate comments making fun of you of being fat, which, to give benefit of the doubt, they were probably giving health advice. And even if that's the case, it's also never a good idea to send hate to anyone. And also, friendly fire, you're skinny. I thought we were on the same side here. And this is the kind of thing that I was talking about. Any advice that you try to give to them or telling them to lose weight to make their lives better, they will just end up villainizing you and calling you fat phobic because of it. And honestly, I'm not surprised that people are going to respond with the same energy. You are calling them fat phobic. And also, fat phobic, that BS is not even registered on the DSM-5 list of phobias. And it's things like this is why people feel like they don't want to support their causes. Nobody likes being villainized. Well, unless you're like me and any other natural born menace, then that might as well be the best compliment in the world. Constantly guilt-tripping people into joining your cause is the only thing that's going to drive them away. The fat acceptance movement is nothing but a cult that is filled with so many addicts that are not only addicted to eating, but are also addicted to inhaling copium until they can actually believe what they're saying. They're even willing to say that, stay with me on this one, that dieting is racist. Yeah, I'm not even kidding, by the way.
When we do the same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower. Even when we're following the diet than our white women counterparts. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Yep, you heard that loud and clear, audience. If you go on a diet as a white person, you are guaranteed to lose weight. And black people, you'll just have to wait for another 2 years until you reach your desired weight. Well, then I guess that means that small part of me that makes me white gave me this unfair advantage. Yeah, no, but are these people retarded? How is a diet racist? If the diet is racist, then I'm Donald Trump himself. You know, the great thing about dieting is that I can go on a 300-calorie deficit and lose weight at a steady rate. Trust me, I've been doing it for the past 3 years. Okay, doing that impression is wild though, I'm not gonna lie.
Things here. Weight and health do not mean the same thing, and health and worth don't mean the same thing either. Thin people can be unhealthy, so can fat people. It's not a determining factor. You cannot tell by looking at someone their chronic illnesses, any eating disorders they have, any family history that they may have that contributes to the way that they look and their weight.
Yeah, we can tell. Obesity is an eating disorder. You eat yourself to morbid obesity in an unhealthy way. Just like how people with anorexia starve themselves absurdly to be unnaturally skinny. It doesn't take a genius to see that.
Why wouldn't I want to be skinnier for my own self-worth? Yikes. It took me a really long time to learn that my size and my weight and the way that I look don't determine my worth or my value or who I am as a person. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being fat doesn't make you a bad person. And you're really telling me that counting calories, working out, getting into a smaller size would make my life easier? Life's hard no matter what. I'm gonna stay over here on self-love TikTok and continue to spread the good word of body positivity.
Kiss my ass. One thing I can agree with her on is that, yeah, life is hard no matter what, but life is harder when you're morbidly obese. For example, there was a video that was uploaded a couple of months ago where someone was rejected for getting a ride from a Lyft driver because she couldn't even fit in a car.
What you saying?
Yeah, I got more space in my car is small.
I can fit in this car?
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me. So, I'm sorry.
What am I doing with my money?
I'm gonna cancel you. You're not gonna be charged.
So you telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car?
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What makes you think I can't fit in the car?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What makes you think I can't fit in this car?
Because the car is small.
My best friend has a Benz. There's no in this that I can fit in. That's the same size.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't.
So you really telling me I'm too big to get in your car? So I gotta order another Lyft.
And to be more specific with you, I got very tired.
The person who got rejected in this video is a woman by the name of Dank Damas, and as you guys can see from the video, yeah, she can't even fit in that car, I'm not gonna lie. She ended up suing Lyft, which got the driver fired, and her response is it's just one of the most saddest things I've ever heard.
I never contacted Lyft. Then y'all talking about, oh, she posted the videos for cloud. I am the fucking cloud. I've been doing this shit a long time. I posted this video because y'all got us fucked up. Y'all always trying to put big people in a fucking category. Oh, big people this, or big da-da-da-da, or people this, or big da-da-da-da, or...
What makes this situation so sad is that you can definitely tell the blatant hypocrisy of this entire movement. Getting a guy fired from his job because he doesn't want to spend extra money to change his tires if they ended up bursting because you're too overweight is one of the most disingenuous things that you can do to a guy who's just trying to make a living. Now, throughout this video, you may have heard, apparently these fat activists have mentioned how fat people are being mistreated, which obviously is a whole lot of horsepile. If they go outside more, they will notice that people don't even care if they're fat. Just like how if you're skinny or muscular, no one will even bat an eye. They're living in this fantasy that wherever they go, they are facing discrimination, which never happens. What's even crazier is that they want to censor the word obesity because it hurts them. Yeah, I kind of wish I was joking.
Hey, the word obese is garbage, and here's why. First, the word obese literally means something that's eaten itself fat, which is not only deeply stigmatizing, but it's also inaccurate for many fat people who are not fat because of eating.
Stop using the word obese or obesity, especially if you're talking about a fat person. To
be honest, I have no idea why they want to censor a medical term. That's like people trying to censor the word retard and label it as a slur. Are we really getting so soft as a society that we have to find words that are completely normal and censor them because it hurt their feelings? Only in America I see this. And I say only in America because in South Africa, problems like these despawn like electricity when load shedding happens. We got better fish to fry. The snow here is on a whole different level. Reminder, it's South Africa. They never used the snow here, my dude. But out of all this, the most annoying fat activist that you guys may have seen going viral on TikTok is a fat activist by the name of JBayOfficial, who I'm just gonna address her as Jay from now on. She's a TikTok activist that got popular off of complaining about airline accommodation. Yo, I knew that our society was getting dumber by the year, but I didn't know it was getting this dumb.
Did you know that more than 1 billion people in the world are plus size? That's roughly 13% of the population. And yet, many airlines still don't have their policies in place to accommodate plus size passengers. That's why I started a petition calling on the FAA to require every airline to have a clear customer size policy in place for plus size passengers. Today, I want to talk about how plus size people are harassed while average size people are praised when it comes to speaking up about airplane seats being too small. I was recently tagged in a few videos where plus size people had stitched an average size woman. Have you heard stories of plus size travelers being ridiculed, humiliated, or even removed from flights because of their size? It's a common fear among the plus size community. I don't give a shit!
As of recording this video, this petition is sitting at nearly 40,000 signatures, which if she's gonna want change, she's gonna have to find more people who are willing to sign the petition and a better cause, because 90% of the problems that are highlighted in this petition can be solved if she just lost the weight. What's even crazier is that there was an incident that happened at the British Airways where a passenger was stuck in his chair for hours because he was morbidly obese, and the Airways had to use a hoist to pull them out. In case you guys don't know what a hoist is, it's a human crane. This is a hoist. And Jay saw this article and got mad because of the situation. And of course, she ends up plugging her petition like always.
Plus size travelers deserve better. This article came out just a few days ago, and we're gonna talk about it in this video. All I had to do was read the title of this article, and I was automatically upset. A British Airways passenger was stuck in a seat for 3 hours after landing and had to be taken out of his first class seat with a hoist. What this passenger had to experience is unacceptable, and this is the exact reason why I started my plus size travel petition this year. And as a matter of fact, they actually linked to the CNN article that talks about my petition in this article. I'm fighting every single day for inclusivity in the airline industry. That way things like this don't happen to plus size passengers, because this is absolutely unfathomable.
Yeah, I can see that being unfathomable, especially having been carried out with using a hoist. Nah, but for real though, that sucks. I do actually feel bad for him, I'm not gonna lie. Airlines can't even change the size of their seats so they can make them larger just so that they can accommodate you, because that would end up costing billions of dollars. Not only that, but many seats are made under the assumption that the person sitting on them are not morbidly obese, because majority of our population are average sized and don't have to worry about getting stuck in a seat. What you're asking for is better treatment than others. Now, yes, I know that there are going to be disabled people who need better accommodation or a little bit of better treatment, you know, considering their situation. I understand that. But for many of these fat activists or obese people complaining about how they can't fit in these seats, lose the freaking weight. All your problems can literally be solved by exercising and dieting for weight loss. People do it not because they want to be treated or because they want to look good. They're doing it because it is healthy for them. If your weight loss is causing you problems or is not working at all, it's most likely because you're taking drastic measures to losing weight and having an extreme diet. Just going on a 250 calorie deficit is good enough. And coming from me, who has been through a weight loss journey before, if you want a smooth weight loss journey, eat food that can fill you up and have less calories. It's also better to cook your meals at home rather than buying fast food, and you have to move more so that you can burn calories. Just doing anything like walking, running, weightlifting, anything that can get you active is going to help a lot. Shoot, you don't even need a gym membership. You can exercise at the comfort of your home and use everyday objects for weightlifting. I've seen guys from Africa who do gym content actually make do with equipment that they've built with scrap that was just lying around. So if that really is the case, then they should not have any excuse to not lose weight. And if Nikocado Avocado was able to lose a lot of weight, so can you. More of the story, ladies and gentlemen, if you're unhappy with your body or health, you have the ability to change it. The only difference is whether or not you are committed to do so. And most importantly, misery likes company. The fat acceptance movement is just filled with individuals who don't even have the discipline to commit to self-care. All of what they're saying is nothing but cope. But yeah, with that being said, that's gonna wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I deeply appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video whenever that is. Catch you guys later.